This is the trial of Austin St. John, the Red Ranger, whose real name is Jason Lawrence Geiger. We're going to go through the whole trial, all the evidence, everything he said, all the statements. And then at the end, you're going to vote if you find him guilty or innocent. Here is the original arrest.
Of 18 people, most of them North Texans, for defrauding the COVID-era Paycheck protection program out of millions of dollars. One of the people arrested, likely a familiar face for many millennials, maybe even their parents. Fox 4's Stephen Dial has our story. Stephen.
Yes, Steve, according to investigators, they say that 16 illegal loans were obtained, totaling about $3.5 million. Someone was at the home of Austin St. John, known as the original Red Power Ranger, but they had no comment. Those facing charges could face up to 20 years in prison.
This week, federal prosecutors in North Texas announced a huge pandemic relief fraud bust. 18 people arrested for allegedly stealing millions from the Paycheck protection program aimed at helping small businesses navigate pandemic closures. Among those arrested, 47-year-old Jason Geiger, also known as Austin St. John, best known for his role as the original Red Power Ranger from the 1990s. TMZ reports agents swarmed his McKinney home Thursday, armed, and left with Geiger in handcuffs. We went to his home, and a woman in the garage did not want to talk.
I'm sorry.
That was his wife. She like, no, I'm not talking.
No comment.
14 of those arrested are from North Texas. The U.S. Attorney's narrative says 2 men, one from Mineral Wells, the other from Louisville, allegedly started the scheme to defraud the Small Business Administration. John Helms is a former federal prosecutor in North Texas.
There's going to be documents that will show the bank account being open, the money coming in, the money going out. All of that will be well documented.
Federal investigators say one recruited the others into the scheme, and the other assisted with making fake documents. The others named in the indictment allegedly paid the men, then transferred money to their personal accounts. 16 loans were obtained, totaling $3.5 million.
I don't think if any of these cases go to trial that it's going to rely heavily on witness testimony that's not completely corroborated by lots of records.
Pandemic relief fraud is extensive. In December, the Secret Service estimated COVID relief fraud neared $100 billion. Only $1 billion has been recovered at that point. Helms says there will be many more busts just like this one.
What you're seeing now is them trying to come back in, get a lot of the money back, and also get justice for the people who abuse the program.
Justice for the people who abuse the program. Justice for the people like Austin St. John, who was able to secure a loan while other small businesses were forced to shut down. Now, this is the TMZ article that covered his arrest. And the importance and significance of this has happened May 20th, 2022. And he made a statement, okay? He made a statement that was posted to Austin St. John's Instagram. I think they may have a picture of it down below. Or no, we're going to have to read it. So he made a statement, and the statement says, a father, a husband, a role model, and a friend to many. The indictment detailed today is populated with a multitude of individuals, emphasis on the majority of which Austin has no knowledge of and has never met or interacted with. This is very important. He has never met or interacted with, because when we get to his testimony, it's going to directly contradict this statement. And shout out to Alikar, who says, you heard that, Brent. Justice for the people Austin St. John stole from, a.k.a. America. Brent don't care about that. Brent thinks Austin St. John is innocent because he was offered a plea deal. It is our understanding that Austin put his faith, reputation, and finances in the hands of third parties whose goals were self-centered and ultimately manipulated and betrayed his trust. We expect Austin's legal team to successfully defend against these charges and lead to his ultimate exoneration. We ask that you respect the privacy of Austin's family in light of this serious situation, and thank you for your support. And everyone knows Austin St. John is the Red Ranger right there, showing teeth ear to ear. Couldn't be happier. And here is his loan application. Now, he's going to say he didn't submit this, and there's some truth to that. Maybe he didn't submit this. But what was submitted was a false loan application that reported him having 10 people working, and he received $225,000 right there. So keep that in mind. All right, keep that in mind. $225,000. Now, here is his original entry plea of not guilty. He pled not guilty ASAP, letting people know, hey, I'm not guilty and I'm going to fight this. All right. So we fast forward. We have, this is the indictment. This is what he's accused of. On or about, hold on, let's make this bigger. On or about June 17th, 2020, Jason Geiger obtained a PPP loan for approximately $225,000 for St. John Enterprises. Of the PPP funds obtained, Geiger sent approximately $22,000 to Andrew Moran and invested approximately $170,000 with Spencer. All right, with Spencer. And if you go through this, use this Eric Mauricio, this is the same thing. Ty Burkhart, this is the same thing. And these are all people that Austin St. John 100% knows and interacted with. He met Ty Burkhart. He knows Phoenix, Eric Moriscano. He was good friends with Cord Newman, who he basically snitched on, however you want to put it. Looked out for himself, whatever you want to call it. We'll get to that in the testimony. Now, if you guys don't know, let's just give you a quick update on the PPP loan. What it was supposed to be used for was payroll. It's the Paycheck Protection Program, and you're supposed to use it for payroll and payments to independent contractors are not included in payroll costs. Keep this in mind. Independent contractors, you're not supposed to pay. All right? Not supposed to pay them. That's going to be major. Now, also, 60% of the loan proceeds must be used for payroll. 60%. All right? Other eligible costs include rent, utilities, and certain other operating expenses, not independent contractors. Okay? Keep that in mind. Now, after he got arrested, he went on his channel and he gave this speech, this hoorah, I'm innocent. Don't believe all the poison pills out there, which I guess I would be a poison pill or a trash YouTuber, or who gives a fuck what Austin thinks of me.
Most of you are far beyond intelligent enough to not believe everything you read, especially if it comes from the media nowadays, or at least the mainstream. Just know that I guess we've got a few hundred people, 700, 800. I don't know. It keeps jumping, but we've got people logging on left and right. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes for people to get on. That way I don't have to repeat myself too much more. But
don't worry. He's about to start cooking.
Just know that I'm here for you guys. And I know that many of you are here for me too. And, there are a few out there that are poison pills, but don't waste your time on them. They'll do and say anything to get a few likes and get an attention. And maybe make a few bucks off of some video feeds. That's just what those guys and some of those girls do, and that's okay. Let them be who they are. Don't waste your time on it. This is a trip. There is some some serious accusations flying around here. This is going to be a 10,000-mile trip, and every trip is made one step at a time.
And this trip is coming to an end with me bringing light for his testimony.
And I am maybe on step 2 right now, along with everybody else. So I will make this journey. I will make it one step at a time. I'm going to stay positive. And those of you that are out there that are positive with me, man, just know that I have nothing but love for you. Looks like we are.
He's about to give "I'm innocent" speech, guys. I'm innocent, and I'm going to fight this to the bitter end. You watch me.
We're over 1,000 people now, and it is steadily creeping up. So I guess I'll get started. Long story short, I have entered a plea of not guilty. I am out. I've been released. I am home. I am safe. I am with the people that matter most. And I have a very positive outlook on my ability to defend myself. And that is exactly what I will do. I will fight this thing to the bitter end. And I will not go down. I will not go down without a fight. And those of you who know me personally, you know better. Those of you who are the poison pills out there, well, you do you, man. I wish you the best too. This weekend, I will be at Dallas-Fort Worth Comic-Con.
Now, you heard that? You poison pills. He plugs this. And then he goes on more to say, you know, how he's going to fight this to the bitter end. Well, the bitter end came May 1st, 2024, when the fighting stopped, when he entered a plea of guilty. The fight in him was gone. Done. And here's his factual basis. What he's agreed that he did, you know, that yes, he's entering a plea of guilty. He willfully conspired with others, including co-defendant Andrew Moran and Cord Newman, to defraud or obtain money or property by materially false and fraudulent pretenses, pre-representations, or promises. It's snitching time. He acted with the intent to defraud and joined the agreement with the intent to further its unlawful purpose. As part of the scheme, Jason Lawrence Geiger and his co-conspirators performed the following acts in furtherance of a conspiracy, among other things. First, he used his business, St. John Enterprises, to obtain government funds under the Paycheck Protection Program, which we know this, right? He submitted, well, he technically didn't submit, someone submitted it on his behalf, a materially false loan application to obtain the loan, which misrepresented, among other things, the number of employees and monthly payroll expenses for the business. He transferred the deposit and otherwise used the fraudulent obtained funds in a manner not authorized by the PPP program. Now, Austin St. John 100% did see. He 100% all him. He caused the wire transmission that affected interstate commerce. 100% Austin. The financial loss was $225,000, and there goes his signature and date right there, Jason Lawrence Geiger. Okay, and also the state has adopted him and said yes, Austin St. John is guilty of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. The judge said, "Yep, we accept your guilty plea." Okay, now let's get to his testimony. So when did this happen? He testified at 10:35 a.m. on February 5th in the great state of Texas. All right, and now here's his testimony. This is the transcript of the testimony, which, like I said, cost about $180 if you guys wanted to get it. It's more testimony you can get, but I specifically just wanted Austin St. John's because, as you can see, it's rather expensive. So as it goes on, let's get down to the nitty gritty. You have, these are your, these are representatives of the United States government. These are their attorneys. And these are the attorneys for Phoenix and your boy, Court Newman, who is Austin St. John's good friend. All right. So let's get to the testimony, if you will, if you don't mind. And I highlighted all of the yellow parts that represent Jason Geiger for your viewing pleasure. Now, I recognize a little error in my pointer being yellow. So let me try to fix that before, so we can move forward. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. God damn, what's going on? All right. She's a Stream Deck. Let's change this to hot pink. There we go. All right. All right, there we go. Now we got a little different, little color. So, Mr. Geiger, if you would raise your right hand and be sworn in. This is the part where it says, do you swear the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? He is sworn in. Now, Jason Geiger is the government's witness. He is state's evidence. He is snitching. This is, sorry, Ninja, I am trying to come home. All right, good morning, good morning. Please state your name for the members of the jury. It is Jason Geiger. Mr. Geiger, have you pled guilty in this case? Are you guilty? I have pled guilty. There you go, I have. And have you entered into a plea agreement with the United States? I have, says Austin. And if you saw the plea agreement, would you recognize it? Yes. You could turn to the government. They talk about some exhibits, go to this page, go to this tab. Got it. Thanks. And just take a moment, look through that. Is that your plea agreement? It is. Now, a portion of the plea agreement was sealed. So now you're going to get the unsealed version of it, and you're going to see something that may make you go, It is fair and accurate copy of that agreement. What's that? Like, Ninja, is it a fair and accurate copy of that agreement? Like, bro, what's that? He's probably nervous. He's probably nervous because he's about to snitch. I can't imagine him being like calm, cool, and collected as he about to snitch on someone who used to be his good friend. Is it a fair and accurate copy of the agreement? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Now, Mr. Rourke is Court Newman's attorney, and they're approaching. Okay. Mr. Rourke, I don't know if what they are including is a factual basis. So he's trying to argue like, Ninja, is it facts or not? Because remember, Austin St. John, in his plea agreement, he named, in his plea agreement, he named his client, Andrew Moran. So he's like, I don't know if that's true or not. He's like, Ninja, well, let the jury decide if it's true or not. All right. So let's keep going. Okay. They go back and forth, yada, yada, yada. Let's get to the good stuff. Okay. Mr. Geiger, if it's easier for you, it will be displayed on screen. Just looking at the top, correct, yada, yada, yada. And what is the crime? What is the crime, Austin, that you have pled guilty to? Now, you're about to hear Austin say, hey, conspiracy to commit wire fraud. This is Austin in court in front of the world saying, yes, conspiracy to commit wire fraud.
That nigga is guilty!
And did you plead guilty because you are in fact guilty of that crime? He responds, I am. This is Austin St. John in court saying, yes, I pled guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. And yes, I am guilty of that. All right. And what does the plea agreement contain? Various provisions? Explain. What Ninja don't know what a provision is. He don't know. Remember, stay in school, guys. Don't, finish high school at least. At least. Are there multiple sections in the plea agreement? Yes. let's go to government exhibits and let's see the paragraph 5 titled Guideline Stipulations. Now you're about to see some stuff that's unsealed, okay? And it's up here on the screen as well for the jury. He like, I can't read that. I don't have my glasses. Damn, Ninja need the readers. I see. Number 5 as part of a scheme. Sorry, can we go to, this, yada, yada, yada. And do you see the paragraph entitled Guideline Stipulations there? I do. So now the Ninja can read. Are there specific factors that you and the government have agreed to regarding your case? Is that right? Yes. Yes. Now you see the loss amount there. What is the loss amount that has been agreed to, Austin? $225,000. That's the amount he tried to steal from the government and he currently owes. And there is no court record showing that he has begun payment. That's important. That's very important. And what is the significant amount of that dollar amount, Austin? That was the loan amount. All right. Okay. And if we scroll down below to the last sentence in the paragraph beginning with the government agrees, do you see that? I do. And can you read that sentence out loud, you snitch? Or Austin, sorry. The government agrees to recommend to the court that any custodial sentence not exceed the average custodial sentence of the co-defendants, with the exception of Jonathan Spencer, Andrew Moran, and Michael Hill. These are the big 3. So Austin St. John has an agreement with the government that whatever jail time or probation he gets, it does not exceed the average sentence of these 3. All right. So, okay. Now, at the end of the day, what is your understanding of who actually sentenced you? They got to do this for all snitches to let them know that even though that, the agreement is, like with the government, it's the judge who either is going to uphold the agreement or just find something not uphold the agreement, which the judge can very well toss out the plea grill and just send them straight to jail. Now, do I think that will happen? No, I don't think so. All right. So who actually sentenced you? The judge. And are you testifying today for leniency of your sentence? I am here under subpoena. Ninja, that don't answer the question. Do you hope that by testifying today, you will receive a benefit? Of course. Of course. I don't even have the accord. I don't even have the ode of course that we used to play. It escapes me. But he is looking for an benefit, which we know. Now, if we scroll down to the second paragraph under substantial assistance is just another word for super snitch. And you see the sentence beginning with the defendant's cooperation? I do. Can you read the rest of that paragraph beginning with those words? The defendant's cooperation does not automatically require the government to request a downward departure or reduction in sentence, and the time for filing such a motion will be determined by the government. It is entirely within the court's discretion as to what, if any, reduction in the sentence the defendant will receive. Now, we have to remember, Austin St. John, this is his first offense. This is a nonviolent crime. You can say a victimless crime other than the people who lost out, who businesses had to shut down. But for the most part, those are like downward deviations. First time offender. And on top of that, he's one of their super snitches. So because he's super snitching, he's going to get even less time. So jail time with the prosecutor is off the table. Will the judge go rogue and send him to jail? Likely not. So we thought he was going to jail originally when the first person went to jail. But then I started seeing people get probation and, new information. I gotta rock with it. So he's likely going to get probation. So again, who ultimately decides what your sentence is? His honor. Okay, let's talk a little about your background. What do you do for work? I'm an entrepreneur. I do some side work as an actor, many things, huh? What type of acting? Some television, and he was proud to lie and say some movies and only television. And have you had any prominent roles over the last several years? His answer is yes.
Stop the cap.
30 some odd years ago, I was on a show called Power Rangers and was the Red Ranger. I have done some other film work and some other TV shows with Amazon and so on and so forth. And where do you currently live? Texas. And where were you living in 2019 and 2020? Texas. And what's the last time? And at that time, did you own or did you have a registered small business for yourself? I did. What was the name of that business? St. John Enterprises. This is the business that was used to defraud the government. What type of business is that? It's an LLC. Is this, what type of service or product did that business, and he's cut off? Austin is like, it's an umbrella business for everything I do in the world of film and television, as well as paraphernalia, memorabilia with reference to Power Rangers, so autograph, clothing, things like that. Now, you have to notice, bro, Ninja, what have you done since Power Rangers? Shows with Amazon and so on and so forth. I don't know about that. I don't know. Right? Is that shit on your IMDb? And don't say the order. Don't say the order. All right. And here's more evidence. And at the beginning of 2020, how many employees did you have on W-2 payroll? I had none. None. So if you got none, you got no employees on W-2 payroll, the amount you getting for your business is low. Low. Now, people could have got a loan with just one employee. I know some people who got a PPP loan, but remember, application said 10. He said he had $225,000 in payroll. He's like, I got $225,000 in payroll. They said $225,000. He's like, yeah. He's like, all right, we'll give you that. So literally on the application, $200,000 in payroll amongst 10 employees. You like, that's 20,000 per person. And they send them the bread. They run the bread to him like, okay, Austin. Okay. And approximately how much revenue was your business, St. John Enterprises, bringing in at that time? I don't have the exact numbers, and I have accounting being done on those years as we speak. Like, Ninja, this, you are in 2024 or 2025, and you don't know how much money you was bringing in 2019 and 2020, and you have accountants doing those as we speak. This ninja's full of it. Somewhere between $250,000 and $500,000 at the time. That's a huge variation. And that's very specific considering you got almost $250,000 loan. And I supported maybe 15 or 20 contractors that I wanted to bring on as employees. You mean to tell me in 2020, you want the people to believe in 2020, you were making $250,000 to $500,000, and you had 15 to 20 contractors that you wanted to bring on as employees, and that money wouldn't allow you to do it? Think about that. Think about that. Does that make sense to you guys? Because you're in a jury and you're listening to him, and we need to know if he committed wire fraud or not. Well, I mean, we'll get to it, the smoking gun, but it's smoking. It's smoking a little already. And do you know an individual named Cord Newman? I do. How did you first meet Cord Newman? We met over the phone when we were put in touch with each other in regards to doing a TV series for a show on Amazon called Fireball Run. Then we met on set. I think was the first time. Do you see him in the courtroom? I do. I do, Your Honor. I do. Can you identify him using an article of clothing and point? Look, when I say point, we want you to be like, that's Cord Newman. Right there. Him. Right there. Cord Newman. Can you point to where he's seated in the courtroom? And this ninja says he is seated at the end of the table wearing a blue blazer and tie. Yeah. Sorry, ninja. I'm trying to come home. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. Your Honor, may the record reflect that the witness has properly identified defendant Newman. Oh, man. The court, it will so reflect it. Okay. Did you know if he had any business that he was operating? I knew he had been building the stunt vehicles and things along those lines. Whether he had an official company or not, I don't have any working knowledge of. Do you know if he had any employees or any revenue? I couldn't speak for positive. I don't believe that he did, but I can't say for sure, like ninja. Did he ever discuss a PPP loan or a Paycheck Protection Program loan with Cord Newman? Did y'all talk about it? Did you? We did. Yes, we talked about that shit. Tell us about that discussion. Well, the initial discussion was that he knew a guy by the name of Michael Hill who had a team of people that had successfully navigated the immense confusion behind the PPP loans and how they worked and how they functioned. Oh, okay. Tell me more. And I had expressed to him my frustration in speaking with banks who really either A, didn't have a representative for the PPP, or B, couldn't explain to me themselves the rules. He explained he had a team who secured loans for people, and that was the way to go. A team. You know, part of a conspiracy is having a team. You know? We'll get to that in the jury instructions. So Cord Newman referred to you to Michael Hill? Correct. Remember I told y'all? Remember I told you guys when I first, probably like a month ago, that Cord was talking to Michael about it, and Austin was like, I want in, and now he got in, and now he like, fuck. He like, damn.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you?
Look, man, shout out to my sources, man. Shout out to my sources. And would you have met Michael Hill if it wasn't for Cord Newman? No. Did you eventually meet with Michael Hill? I did. So wait, Austin, you specifically said the majority of which you have no knowledge of and has never met or interacted with. All right, let's just keep it going. So you met Michael Hill. All right. You met him. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
We got him.
And who all was there when you met with Michael Hill? Who was there, Austin? This was years ago. The first time I know Cord, wait, Ninja. Was it multiple motherfucking times? Was it multiple times? The first time? All right. I think maybe Ty was there. Ty? What? Ty? Wait. Ty from the indictment was there? Wait, Austin, hold on. You mean Ty Burkhart? You mean this Ty right here? Ty Burkhart was there? Ty Burkhart? Yeah. But Austin, you didn't meet these people. What do you? Okay, Austin. All right, Austin. Sorry for getting out of hand. Order in the court. Order in the court. All right, so we established, hold on. We established Ty was there. Make sure I got it. A little too much. 4:30. Hold on, guys. Sorry about this. I'm over here getting beyond myself. Getting a little too excited. Okay. Getting a little too excited. All right. It was years ago. The first time I know Court was there. I think maybe Ty was there. And if I have his name correctly, I don't remember his last name. There may have been a few others. The names escapes me. Of course they do, Austin. Of course they do. So you said you met, and at the meeting, at a minimum, there was Court, Michael Hill, a person, yourself, and a person named Ty. Is that fair to say? Yeah, Ty, and I think there were a couple of others. But I honestly met 100. I meet 100, 1,000 people a year. I honestly don't remember who else was there. Hey, but you know you was at this meeting though, right? You remember Ty. Okay. Because you know him. Generally speaking, what was the purpose of that fucking meeting, Austin? Why was y'all there? Really? Introductions? I think it was kind of understood Michael Hill was a Navy SEAL. I understood that, he was the guy who was doing me a favor by allowing me to join the loan project with Court Newman because I was Court's friend. Ninja, what the fuck is the loan project? A bunch of ninjas getting together, getting government loans. That shit don't seem fishy to you, Austin? That shit don't seem like it's not, on the up and up. No, man. And so it was, I don't know if he was feeling me out or I was feeling him out. What? But it was that initial intro to decide whether or not I guess we could get along. No, Ninja. This was the original intro to see if your ass was dumb enough to be part of a scheme to defraud the government. And you fucking passed the test with flying colors, Austin. We saw your ass was dumb as a box of rocks coming through. And we had Core goofy ass out here too. Two dumb ninjas thinking they about to defraud the government. You didn't find this suspicious at all. What are you talking about? Coincidentally, everyone at the meeting is a fucking defendant. What about that? What about that? All right, anyway. And did you discuss the loan at that meeting? Not at any great depth. Ninja, this is conspiracy right here. 101. Hey, I'm going to get the loan. Y'all going to give me the kickback. Andy going to get the kickback and y'all send all the money to me to invest. Ninja. That's conspiracy. Just with the exception that he had a guy named Andy Moran, who was a guy who did his stuff. I don't remember the particulars of that specific conversation years later, but I just knew that it seemed like things were going well and he was going to put me in touch with his team in order to execute the government loan. He was framed. Okay. All right. Maybe. We're going to get to that. We still got we got a lot of pages left. All right. This is a 41 page, on to page 13. So at a high level, you discussed the PPP loan going to Andy Moran. Is that right? Wait. You discuss the PPP loan going to Andy Moran. Is that right? If my memory serves me correctly, yes. Ninja, you sent Moran 10%. And did you actually get Andy Moran's contact information? At some point I did. I couldn't tell you when specifically, but I did. Oh, Ninja, we got the text. We know the exact date and time. We got the text. We got the text. We know exactly when you got his information, Ninja, but we ain't got there yet. We ain't got there yet. You know? It would have been either Mike or Cord, but I don't recall specifically. Okay. And what did you do once you received Andy Moran's contact information? I followed up with him and we spoke over the phone. Hold on. There we go. He seemed to be sharp on the subject and aware of how it worked. And he explained that he had executed several of these loans, and he spoke with the confidence I would expect of someone who understood the system despite my ignorance on the bank. Did you get any credentials on this, Ninja Austin? Did you say, hey, how you know this?
Nope.
Did you say, where do you work?
Nope.
Did you do any due diligence on him?
Nope.
Nothing. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, guys. And we discussed the particulars and how we thought it would go and the things he might need from me information-wise in order to take the next step. You spoke to him on the phone. Did you also exchange text messages with him? I did. I did exchange text. We know, Ninja. We asking you rhetorical questions. We know you exchanged text messages because we got them all. And would you recognize those text messages if you saw them? I would. Can you turn to exhibit this? Stare down, may I approach your, and they're just like, hey, may I approach? Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. All right, that's all right. Got it. Mr. Geiger, take a moment. Just look through that. Do you recognize this exhibit? I do. Are these text messages you exchanged with Andrew Moran? They are. Are they fair and accurate copy of those text messages? Yes, they are. The government offers Exhibit 307, Your Honor. Any objections? No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. Okay, it's admitted. Maybe we publish, Your Honor. Yeah, publish that shit. Do you see that, Mr. Geiger? Whoa. Look at the top part where it says participants. Do you see that, Mr. Geiger? Is that your motherfucking name? It is. And is that your phone number? It is. And you mentioned you got on the phone with Andrew Moran, so the first message that you see here, is it actually a picture? Do you see that? I do. And is this from you? Do you see that? I do. And why are you sending him a picture there? What is the picture of? It was my driver's license. You mean, right now, look, I blurred out his driver's license, guys. I'm not trying to dox the guy. But there go your picture right there, mother. There go your picture, Ninja. There, 6/15, 2020, 11:25 p.m. Right there, Ninja. You said that shit, Ninja. You said that shit. All right. All right. Let me keep going. All right. Did you give him the information? Yep, it was my driver's license, and my understanding was proof of ID in order to verify my identity for the purposes of the loan, and my EIN and other verifiable that were needed to start the process. Did you give that information to him either via text or by phone? I did. Ninja, I said by text or phone. Ninja, what the fuck? Like text or phone. Hey, Austin's slow. All right. There's a picture from Andrew Moran. It looks like a picture of a computer screen. Do you see that? Yes. Do you know what that picture is or what it would be of? No. Wait, what? Wait, what? He sends you a picture right here. Damn, I got to go back. But if the link is broken, I can't see it. So he doesn't know what that picture is. All right. Your response here is here. Oh, here we go right here. Do you know what that picture is? No. Your response is, here's to hoping, man. What are you talking about? So after he sends that picture, he says, here's to hoping, man. And he like, you don't know what this picture is, but you sent them a message saying, here's to hoping, man. Make that make sense. Why would you respond to here's to hoping, man? Because this picture is of him submitting the application. All right. Hold on. No. Do you know what that picture is? No. My response, I'm sorry, coping. Sorry, just looking at these, your messages, are they the ones in blue, correct? And the messages from Andrew Moran are the one in green. Do you see that? Yes. And your response, here's hoping, man. Do you know what you could be referring to there? Yeah, I was not optimistic at my ability to secure a loan because I had heard about all of the confusion. So, I was hoping that it was going to work. So this is literally like, you don't know what the picture is, but you responded, here's the hoping. Okay. So like as a juror, you have to look at people's credibility. Do you find them credible? Do you find them truthful? So at that point, you said you had heard, how challenging the process was for getting the loan. Did you understand that it was a bit? Now, this is where they start cooking them. Did you understand it was a business loan? I did. Can we go to the government's exhibits, yada, yada. And what does Andrew Moran say to you up at the top there? He says, they approved your loan, so give me a call when you have your bank account information in front of you. Thanks. Did you in fact call him to give him your bank account information? I did. My agreement with him was on par with what I do with my agent and I have with other people I've worked with, which was when the loan came through, I would pay him 10% for work. Now, this had to be discussed prior. How did you just come to 10%? So, okay, so let's look at, shortly after you say, sweet. Do you see that? I do. And then you say, hi, brother. The cash is in the account. I have no idea how much they have on hold. I am heading to the pool with the kids. Can I withdraw your cash tomorrow and meet you somewhere? Do you see that? So now Austin is saying, the government loan I got from my business, I want to give you your 10%. Yes. What are you discussing? What are you talking about there? Our agreement, as with my agent, which is a structure I am comfortable and familiar with, was that I would pay him 10% for work. And I guess that I am guessing at that time that my bank had a hold on the money. And for whatever reason, I couldn't follow through on my word and wire him immediately the money we agreed upon. Okay. But you had an agreement with him to pay him 10%? Correct. Once the loan came in, yes. From the loan itself, 10% of whatever he was able to grab for us, nobody was sure what it was going to be. Okay. And then if you can go down that page, Andrew Moran says, yeah, man, absolutely. I will meet you wherever. Man, that was fast. Do you see that? I do. And then what was your response after he said that? Dude, it was stupid fast. I'm stunned. Now we have these text messages. We kind of went through them already before. Here is where he says, hey, bro, the loan is approved. Give me your bank account information. Says will be deposited on the 24th. More attachments. Austin St. John says, sweet. Here's where he says, I'm at the pool with my kids. Yeah, man, absolutely. Whenever that was fast. Dude, it was stupid fast. I'm stunned. Keep going. Holy shit, man. Mind blown, man. Oh my God. Give me a call when you can, man. All right, man. Just a sec, bro. KK. Let's keep going. Dude, it was stupid fast. I'm stunned. Again. Everything in the media was talking about how, why were you stunned? Again, everything in the media was talking about how wildly complicated it was. When I went to the banks, I couldn't get anybody who could explain what they were or how they worked. They were confused by the rules and regulations. So honestly, I didn't expect it to happen. But until him, I had never met anybody who'd been able to secure a loan. Ninja don't got the internet. I told you, Austin St. John lazy. Ninja didn't do any research itself. Are you like, if I'm like the prosecutor, but remember, Austin St. John is not on trial. If I am the prosecutor, I'm like, so you did no research on your own? You didn't use the internet to search anything about the PPP loan? Everything was word of mouth, all research, word of mouth. That's something I would have asked. But remember, Austin St. John is just testifying against Cord Newman. He's not on trial. Okay. All right. And, but did you get the money right? I did, but I wasn't expecting it. Okay. They go to some more exhibits. And if you look kind of in the middle of the page, there is some bank account information sent from Andrew Romero. Do you see that? I do. And do you know why he is sending you bank account information? So I could attempt to wire him his fee. And just so looking through the next several messages, and we can take a minute to look through them, would it be fair to say that you and Moran just went back and forth about how to deliver that payment to him? Yeah, I was having issues with the wires with the banks because of the hold. If memory serves correct, they were going to allow me to make a minimum withdrawal. And so I was trying to do what I said I was going to do, which was pay the man. And as it turned out in the end, I think rather than meet with him, the bank finally allowed me to wire, and I was able to pay my debt. So you paid him 10%, is that right? I did. What did you do with the remainder of the money? Well, it was explained to me by Mr. Moran. I don't remember the percentages, but it came to roughly $33,000. Remember when I said $33,000 is missing? I was allowed to keep and pay my business expenses. And I was told a portion of that I was allowed to pay rent and function with. And then the rest was sent to Michael Hill. Michael Hill got the money and was like,
gotta get my bag and run.
And I actually do have a picture of him at the bank doing a wire transfer, because when you do wire transfers, you have to go there in person. So here is him with his banker signing up for the wire transfer. You know, we have to stay vigilant. Got to stay vigilant. All right. So why did you send the rest to Michael Hill? What was the purpose? Well, at the time, COVID was a monster. Nobody knew when it was going to end, when it was going to be over. What was Ninja? Where did you send the money? Why did you send the money? Don't give me this fucking monologue of, you know, how tough it was. We ain't here for that shit. Well, okay, I'll just continue. So my concern with speaking with Michael Moran or with Andy was that I explained to him I wanted to bring on these employees with this loan. He assured me that was okay and I was going to. I guess Michael had this opportunity with which the money could be invested. Wait, Ninja. Wait. 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 First off, didn't you say COVID was not real? Wasn't you a COVID denier? I wish I had the proof. I wish I had the proof when he was denying this shit. But now it's a monster. Now it's a monster. Like, thank you for the chat for pointing it out. Thank you. Thank you. And I know I covered the screenshots of him denying it before. But now when he in court it was a monster, man. It was a monster. So he's taking his government money he's taking his business loan. He knows it's a business loan from the government. And now he's trying to invest it. This is against the PPP loan regulation. Like the money was not to be invested in anything other than the business. And my hope, again, because we didn't know how long, COVID was going to last, was that I could invest the money and draw down the interest, thus keeping my employees on payroll longer. Ninja. What do you mean, draw down the interest? What do you mean, draw down the interest? When you invest it, right? What are you investing in? Like when you invest in a stock, there's no interest on the stock. There's dividends, but we'll get to his investing later. Then I would be able to, if I just paid on principal. So this is Austin St. John, who admitted earlier in this interview he had 0 employees. And his hopes was to invest this money and draw down on the interest. Remember, draw down on the interest to hire employees when the PPP loan money was specifically for current employees, not for you to hire employees, not for you to invest in the government, not for you to send the person who did the application 10% of the loan amount. That's not what the PPP loan was for. And here is Austin, not only snitching on court, but snitching on himself too. Maybe he's just a idiot. And that's what was going to be his whole defense. So to be clear, you sent a significant amount of money for investment. Is that right? Look, he's cooked. Correct. Government money for an investment? Correct. Look, correct. To pay employees I wanted to bring on. Yes, sir. Only an idiot would believe this guy's innocent. I'm sorry. This is how they cooked him. Since when does the government give people loans to invest in? Remember, he had 0 employees. So, you know, like he's going to talk about later how long it took for the loan to mature. But, you know, when you invest money, there's a risk associated with a loss, right? It's not a guarantee. There's no 100% foolproof investment. But anyway, correct. To pay employees I wanted to bring on, yes. But to be clear, you didn't have those employees at the time? No. They were contracted at the time. Remember, guys. Remember what it was the reason why I wanted to educate you on PPP loan stuff. There's a reason why I wanted to do it. Payments to independent contractors are not included in this payroll cost. So he's trying to get up there and say, yeah, I was going to bring these contractors on, but Ninja, you had no employees. Technically, you had no employees. So this is them cooking Austin St. John, proving that he got a loan, he gave someone a kickback, he sought to invest it, and he had no employees. You see that? This is how the government cooked him. And this is all for the jury, you guys as the jury to decide, okay, if he's guilty or not. No, they were contracting at the time. Now let's talk about Corey Newman. You mentioned that you weren't really familiar with the business, activity that he had, right? Yeah, only on the surface. I know he was successful. He was talented in building camera cars and a multitude of various stunts in our time together, of course, but his private workings is, in business, I was not intimate with. Did you know how much money he had in his bank account when the PPP loan hit? I was not aware, no. Did you know if he used that money to pay his employees? I mean, I don't have intimate knowledge of what he did with his money. I know that he had a business expenses, that I know he had a work truck for the purpose of his company. That is really about most that I know what he did with it, other than invest. I know he invested also. There we go. You know that he invested? Yes. And how do you know that he invested? He told me. He told you he used the PPP loan money to invest? He told me he was sending some money. That was the agreement, that we would send the money to Mike. I guarantee you Brent is not watching this because he does not want to see the damning evidence. He wants to live in his fantasy world where Austin is innocent. Hey, look.
That's a truthful statement.
It is. You literally, you have Austin over here doing this. And Brent will probably say, no, he just didn't do his due diligence. He was naive. He'll try to give any and every excuse he can to cover for Austin, to kind of sweep it under the rug. But thank you, Dust. You're absolutely right. Brent still needs the facts. Okay. Okay. Well, here's his sworn testimony. Okay. All right. So he told Austin he was investing his money to Mike. Now, during this process, did you ever look at the loan paperwork? I spoke with Andy over the phone and we discussed the questions about the paperwork. I think the first time I saw it in person was when I sat down with FBI officer Chris and he showed it to me. God damn. Ninja gets you a $225,000 loan and you expect me to believe you didn't look at the paperwork? either Austin St. John is one of the dumbest Rangers to ever put on the costume, or he's lying his goddamn ass off. And it could be both. It could be both. Two things could be true. We did go over questions over the phone. Okay. Did you ever sign any paperwork? No, because it was done electronically. And even though you didn't see the paperwork or sign the paperwork, you pled guilty in this case. Is that right? All right. I believe I should have done more due diligence on the people I chose to trust. So yes. Okay. Way to take accountability, Austin. Not the fact that that you knew it was a government loan. Not the fact that you knew it was a government loan for your business. Not the fact that you used this government loan to invest money to hire employees later. Like, bro, come on, Austin. Come on. Now, at this point, he passes the witness to Cord Newman's attorney for cross-examination. Now, Cord Newman's attorney comes up and says, Mr. Geiger, my name is Brian Rourke. It's my job to ask you some questions. That's what I'm here for, sir. Pardon? That is what I'm here for. Okay, so Austin, that's what I'm here for. If you don't understand the question, it is probably because I screwed it up. So if you will tell me, I will rephrase it. Is that fair enough? Sure. When you had these initial conversations with Cord, was there anything about this process that indicated you that it was illegal or anything like that? Here we go. Here we go. No, not at all. And when you went to Mr. Hill, where did you go meet him? If I recall, the first meeting was he met these ninjas multiple times. We met twice at two restaurant Inn or near Dallas Star. We met twice at two restaurants. There was a house. We met at a house too. So the first meeting was at a house. So this is where Austin, this is how you establish conspiring. Why are you meeting with this guy so many times? Okay. Mr. Hill's house, correct? I was told that it was his house, yes. And you mentioned you recalled him telling you that he was a Navy SEAL, correct? I don't recall if he told me that or if he told Cord that and Cord told me that, but I think the impression that Cord and I both had, because I know we discussed it, was that he was a Navy SEAL. Okay. He didn't tell you that he had tried to be a Navy SEAL and busted out, did he? I don't think so, no. I think I would have remembered that. Right, because that gave the fact that he was a Navy SEAL, or you thought he was, gave him great credibility in you. Is that correct? And, here go Austin. Here come Austin. My father is a Marine. My mom is a police officer. My brother is a police officer. I didn't even know Austin St. John had a brother. I have several with the fire and EMS. Austin St. John brother probably watching this shit. Like, damn, Ninja, you got my brother out here looking cooked. Your brother's an idiot. I hope he's smarter. I've spent 4 years in the Middle East serving indirectly my country and those who are the heroes. I'm telling you, man, he always does this shit. Family is cops, and he over here trying to scam the government. It would have been ironic if his brother had to arrest his ass. 4 years in the Middle East serving indirectly my country and those who are the heroes. So yes, it carried immense weight with me. In a world of order, old-fashioned men, your word is supposed to be your bond. Remember, he in Texas. Real conservative out in Texas. No one's destroying Teslas out in Texas because they might get shot. If he had told you he had tried to be a Navy SEAL and had flunked out 6 months later, that would have diminished his credibility with you, correct? Substantially. Navy SEALs are top 1% the military. And was his house impressive to you? Yeah, considering I've been renting. I'm still renting. You mean to tell me this ninja made $500,000 and still renting? Why? So it was a beautiful house. He had some exotic cars. I mean, the image, he had money. Now, this is the stuff I had pictures of, his house, but I can't find them. I can't find it, the document. And I'm not about to pay another $3 to get it. Yeah, we discussed all of his guns because we're all gun aficionados. Love them. Well, Ninja got some bad news, Austin. Once that felony thing come on you, you're going to have to relinquish them shits or move to Phoenix. Did he suggest that he was struggling financially? No. The impression was that he was well-to-do. Okay, and did he tell you that he was just refurbishing that house or redoing it to sell? I think that is right. Yes. But not the context he was presenting himself as a very successful businessman. Is that right? Now, you got to remember, guys, Austin St. John hates Court Newman, hates Michael Hill. And when you see why he hates Michael Hill, at the end of this testimony, you're going to be like, Austin's an idiot. I promise you. Or not. You may see he's a victim. He's a victim. You know what I'm saying? He was taken advantage of. He had no idea. He would never scam the government. You know? He wouldn't do that because Austin is just a victim in this whole ordeal. He was taken advantage of, and people should be nicer to Austin. I'm trying to find my victim clip, but I can't find it. Gosh. Oh, man. Give me a second. Victim. I think it's like Henry Victim. Or is it MP4? I can't find it. I know I used it before. It is what it is. Anywho, no, the impression that he had a show floor, a car show floor or something somewhere that I've never laid eyes on, and that he traded cars or was in that business, exotic cars. That wasn't why I was there to speak with him, so I didn't dive into that. Did he mention he owned restaurants or anything like that? Yeah, as a matter of fact, a couple, I think. Okay, and that was all part of the allure of doing business with him to some extent, correct? Sure. I mean, it was his version of credibility that I was foolish enough to believe in, sure. And when he was telling you about these loans, did he indicate to you any way that getting a loan for you would be inappropriate or illegal? Getting a loan is not illegal, but I'll reserve my thoughts. No, in fact, I asked several clarifying questions of Andy Moran and Michael several times to make sure that none of this was illegal. Is this legal what we doing? Yeah, man, it's totally legit. Totally legit. I explained to them we are doing this loan is not a problem. Are we sure that me investing it as long as I pay the employees I bring on is not a problem? Are we sure that the people that I'm going to bring on or not currently on would not be a problem? And was assured by both of them that none of it was a problem. Like, one, you have to wonder, did Austin really ask these very specific questions? You have to wonder, did he ask these very specific questions? But keep in mind, Austin's not on trial. If Austin was on trial, I would have shelled out $1,000 to get everything that was said in court. I would have showed it out. Like, I would have made sure we got everything from this case. Because he would have been convicted too, in my opinion. But hey, you guys are the jury. You guys get to figure out if you're going to convict him or not. Okay? Okay, so you said you pitched Moran as being someone who could successfully be getting you a loan. Is that correct? Yeah, he was the guy supposed to be in the know about the actual process. And it was explained to me he had done it before, and he's literally the only guy I could find that had a track record of doing it. Did you have a conversation with other people or banks about getting a potential loan? Yeah, long before, I had been into several banks looking for PPP representatives, and the answers were always the same. Either they didn't have one, or they were unclear on the rules and regulations, or they didn't have anybody at all who could execute those. So did the pitch at his house, went to eat after, court was there for that, correct? Yes. So he was hearing all of the same things you were hearing, was he not? Yes. And when you spoke with Mr. Moran, he did not give any indication to you that there was anything inappropriate about these loans, did he? No. In fact, he assured me there wasn't. So, like, if you guys don't see, his whole defense is they said it was legal, and I didn't know. I was trying to understand the process, and it was between what was being said in the process, which we all know has limited credibility. I really didn't know what to believe. Like, Ninja, you didn't do a quick Google search? His defense is he is stupid. Oh my God. Oh man. What I knew was I had one guy who said he could do it and had a history of doing it and executing it for people. So that's who I chose to trust. He's a fucking moron if this is true. Like, you have to think about this. Like, it's around tax season right now. And pretty much there's a bunch of people on the internet like, oh, I'll get you double your normal return, triple your return. Just give me 10%. Just give me $1,000. Let me do your taxes. And then they lie on your taxes and they make you sign it like you self-prepared. And you get your taxes and you give them they cut. And then when the FBI come knocking, FBI open up. You over here with the Austin St. John defense, like, no, they told me it was good. They told me it was legit. I shouldn't be here. Like, Ninja, you here. Okay, question. And this was at a time, I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but all of these loans were new. The government had never done anything like this before, and there was a great confusion everywhere. Is that correct? Yes. And so you actually thought you was doing you a favor, basically. Is that correct? 100%. I thought I was blessed, and it came at a time where I couldn't have been needed more. Ninja was in a bind. You know why he was in a bind? Because that rent was due. Your rent's due, motherfucker. Remember, he was renting. Let's talk about the 10% fee for Mr. Moran getting the loan. Was there anything in your mind about that was just intuitively inappropriate or anything like that? No, it's perfectly common for me. I pay my agent 10% several times a month. And I've been doing this 30 years. Managers take 15%, real estate agents take a percentage. So at that time, it was not unusual for me at all to accept. Like, Ninja, since when do you give someone a percentage of a government loan that doesn't work for you? Remember, it's a PPP loan. Okay, and certainly it was not intuitively to you that paying him out of the loan proceeds would have been inappropriate in any way, correct? No. No one told you that it was inappropriate or illegal in any way, did they? I explained to everybody I spoke to that I wanted to make sure this was on the up and up, and I was reassured constantly. Okay, when you spoke to Mr. Moran, I certainly think from hearing you so far that he didn't tell you that he was lying on the applications, did he? No. And if he had done that, what would you have done? I would have been done with the deal. I would have washed my hands of it. That's probably why he didn't tell you. Would you agree with that? Objection. Cause for speculation. Sustained, because you can't read minds. You can't read minds. Were you given the impression that someone that was interested in the legality of what you were doing? I was given the impression of someone who was sure about the answers they were giving me when I asked about the legality behind what we were doing. Ninja, a quick Google search would have told you what you was doing was illegal. Okay, fair enough. And I probably asked that poorly, so I will ask it again. You were given the impression, though, that you were interested in the legality of what was going on, correct? I was trying to do the right thing, yes. Asking questions, those kind of things, right? Common in business, he says, but not common in business to do Google searches. Okay, and you understand that it was a loan for business purposes, is that correct? I understood it was for business and payroll. Ninja, you said it was for business and payroll. Where is 10% fees? Where is investing it overseas? Where is all that? You understood it was for business and payroll. So why are you wiring money to other people to invest? Why are you giving people 10%? They were giving PPP loans to business. Not all of the money was exclusive to payroll. Okay, not all. All right. And was there anything about how you spent the money that you knew ahead of time was inappropriate or illegal? No, I never went on nice dinners. I never bought Cartier. I never bought a car. No. What was it intuitive to you that investing was inappropriate in some way? Wait. It was not. In fact, I asked, and again, I was reassured that this was in the scope. Bro. Yo, yeah. They're giving everyone in government loans to invest in Tesla or Forex trading overseas, foreign currency exchanges. Yeah. Up and up, Austin, up and up. Because I explained the investment was to hopefully make the money last longer because I had 10 people to bring on. Ninja, you have 15 contractors, 15 to 20. Now you was bringing on 10 people. Ironically, this is the same number that was in the application, right? You see how it's like, 10 people and you were making between 225, 250 to $250,000. What a strange coincidence. What a strange coincidence. What a strange coincidence. And the purpose of that was to pay these people longer, stretch it as long as I could for them. And you mentioned that you weren't sure what the 10% was going to be because, answer, I had no way of knowing how much it was coming. Okay. And Andy explained he didn't know either. Now, looking back on that, that was not true. That was not correct. I'm clear on it now, yes. Mr. O'Rourke says, Judge, just one moment. When was so you get the loan, you pay Moran, you send some of the money off to Mr. Hill, all think it was on the up and up, right? Remember I told you the money's gone? Correct. When was the first time that you thought maybe this is not on the up and up? I don't remember the exact date, but it was not long before the money just wasn't available. My understanding, it was that at some point I would have access to an account where I could draw down and begin bringing my employees on, or my employees that I had not yet hired. Right. Begin bringing my employees on, or my employees I had not yet hired. Okay. Right. That I was looking to bring on, some people have been contracting and working with me. So it wasn't anything about the loan itself or anything that you had been hearing. It was the fact that this investment with Mr. Hill. Yeah, it was constantly delayed. Was starting to show signs of, yes, being dubious, correct? Yes. I was getting the roundabout from Mr. Hill on when I could access the money, where the money was. Court and I had many conversations about where the hell the money had gone, and when we would have access to it, it was a problem. Uh-oh. Game over. And from your perspective, the money that you sent, you thought you had gotten legitimately to Hill was never returned, correct? Correct. All right. Mr. Rourke, 1 second. Did you know that, you had stated that there was confusion And everything at the time, I think some perspective might be that the government was trying to make this easy to do, and that it wasn't easy because no one knew exactly what the rules were and everything. Is that correct? That was the terrible question. I apologize. Mr. Rourke, make sure you're speaking into the microphone, please. Sure. You gave Mr. Moran some information that he used to apply for the loan. Is that correct? Correct. Was it intuitive that that was an oddly small amount of information to be able to get a loan? Yeah, I asked him. I think there was maybe 10 maybe. There weren't many questions that he read to me and asked me about at all. And I thought that was awkward. But I also am not surprised by much when it comes to the bureaucracy, Austin St. John. And did you know that Mr. Moran was there with some backup documents that he had been supplied as part of the loan? Did you know he had created those documents in your name without your knowledge? No, I found out about that after the fact, and I still don't know what those documents were in detail. Like, wait, what? Ninja, you about to catch a felony. You found out about the documents after. You don't know what they were in detail? You didn't get a copy from the FBI? Cross-examination by Mr. Mills. Now, this is Phoenix's attorney. Mr. Geiger, my name is Tom Mills. I represent Eric Morascio. During the period of time whenever we put a month on when COVID started, but through the summer, June 20th, you had met Eric Morascio, right? Hadn't you? Yes, I think so. Okay, well, wasn't there, did you, as you think back on it? I don't have my glasses though. Is that Phoenix? Question. Yes. Phoenix? Yes. Wait, Austin. Ninja, you said you didn't meet these people. What the fuck? You fucking lied. Well, no, yes. You knew him as an author too, didn't you? I knew he had been an author, but I had some interaction with him before because he had a private chef company and he was, go ahead. He was cooking health meals. I had a project coming up and was trying to cut weight. And for a month or two, maybe not long, he and I had some meals prepared by him that he brought to me. Yeah, there was a period of time that he was bringing meals to your home. Yes. 3 meals a day. Yes. All right. So this ninja dropping, you eating this ninja food. All right. Just a question about clarification. As I understand, you sent $100,000. I mean, how much money did you send to Hill for investment? It was 2 separate wires. The first was for $100,000. And the second, I think, was for $70,000. 70? Yes, sir. And was it your understanding that that money was then transferred by Hill to Spencer or his company Rhino? Yes. There was a mention of a guy named Spencer who I hadn't met who was going to handle the investment. So you did not think that it was Mr. Hill that was going to handle the investment, right? He was going to facilitate getting it to the people that would do it, as he had facilitated, put me in touch with Andy to get the PPP executed. And so it was your belief, and perhaps did send $170,000 to Spencer for his investment? Yes. And what was your understanding about the terms of the investment? Did you have an investment agreement with Spencer or Rhino Capital? Not with Spencer or Rhino Capital. My understanding was that the money would be invested and very quickly. I think in the first 30 days, I would have access and be able to draw down the money to bring people on. So there you have it. He was going to take his government loan that was for his business, invest it, and in 30 days, have access to it. Austin St. John is saying he's a victim.
Really him. You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
All right, so he's like, hey, in 30 days, I'm going to have access to my government money. Now, you know what can happen to an investment in 30 days? You can lose half its value. By what? Within the first 30 days, I think approximately 30 days, and that is fuzzy, but that I would have access to the money to be able to draw down beginning bringing my employees on full time. So you mean to tell me you give a ninja $170,000 and you think it was 30 days? That's a lot of money to give to someone for an investment to not know when you will have access to it. Fuzzy math. From the source of the money, that's what you believe? Yes. Question. Was earmarked your Spencer investment account? Correct. It was my belief he was in care of that money and that I would have access to it quickly. But it was your understanding that he'll purported about him that he could double or triple one's investment. Guys, let me tell you this, man. Let me tell you this. All right. If someone is telling you they could double or triple your investment in 30 days, they're lying to you. You're getting scammed. You're getting conned. And if you're stupid enough to give the person money who's promised you a double or a triple return on your investment, you deserve to get your money taken because you're stupid. I'm just saying. The Dumb Ninja Award goes to Austin St. John. Yeah, without a doubt. The dumbest Power Ranger walking the earth. There were claims. I mean, I have done some investing before. So, would it have been nice? Sure. I wasn't hopeful for that. I was hoping it would make 5 to 10% so I could pay my people longer. Like, he keeps trying to hammer home that he wanted to use the money to hire people, but who was buying that? You made $500,000. Why didn't you hire them then? Oh, I made $500,000. Oh, why did you hire them then? Like, why'd you need a loan to hire them? What is your understanding that was it your understanding that it was a forgivable loan? Yeah, well, it was my understanding that the government would let me know if I had to pay it back. And if that was not forgiven, then I would then have to pay it back with a 1% interest. Seems like a good deal at the time, didn't it? It was in line with a portion of what I was hearing in the news. Like, this nigga. Oh, man. He tells you not to believe mainstream media. And then in here, he's like, oh, this is what I was hearing from the news. With the exception of the investment, which I hadn't heard anything about in the news. But I took these excerpts at their word.
You stupid. You stupid.
Oh my God. Oh man. All right. Right. And was it in the fall of 2020, perhaps the month or week during which time you had repeatedly asked for availability of some funds, and then finally something just made you think, I'm never going to get my money? Is that the way it happens? I'm sorry. I read through this already, but it's like reading a telenovela. I don't remember the specific timeline, but I definitely got to that conclusion. And that is when I knew I had been, at that point, I thought the only crime was that I had been ripped off.
Really him. You're a victim. Here we go, CS.
Okay. Do you remember? I understand about that timing, but do you remember if you sort of came to that conclusion or the final belief in 2020 or 2021? I couldn't begin to tell you all these years later what that date was, but I definitely came to that conclusion, and Court and I discussed specifically, we were in agreement that we had been ripped off. And we talked about going to the police and filing a report, but I guess his father had invested some personal funds and he wanted to wait until his father was on board. I don't know the details behind that, but I know that our plan was to speak to the police at some point. The problem was, as we all understood, what it cost to go to court? And was it going to be worth it to go to court and spend 3 times the money that was likely never going to get back if we won? Now, keep in mind, guys, let's keep in mind, he was arrested May 20th, 2022, right? Keep this in mind, May 20th, 2022. Let's go to the indictment. He got the money June 17th, 2020. And within June, he sent the money. So you mean to tell me for 2 years, you gave this ninja $170,000 and you didn't go to the police and you thought you got ripped off? You know why he didn't go to the police? Because he would have been snitching on himself. Hey, I got a government loan and I invested it. And the guy I invested it with, I got a government loan on a fraudulent application and invested the money. And the guy I invested it has not given it back to me. Like, could you imagine that?
You stupid.
Oh, man. Like, Jesus. Okay. That's all the questions. Thank you. Redirect. Now, the state is like, nah, ninja, we ain't about to let that shit slide. Mr. Geiger, to be clear, you did not go to the police, though, did you? No, we did not. And you said you talked about it with Court Newman. We did. And did Court Newman go to the police? My understanding is no. And you mentioned just now on cross-examination that you didn't hear anything in the news or know anything about how the PPP money could be used for investment. Is that right? For much of anything, but that is correct. You see how the state just cooks them? Just come in quick, cook them. You getting all your information from the news. Did the news tell you can invest your money? But you ended up investing the PP money. Is that right? I thought the best thing to do was to secure my money in a bank and invest it. Yes, so that I could pay my people longer. And you actually intended to pay employees down the road. Is that it? Yeah, people I brought on since then were the people that I was going to pay that amount and help take care of their families. Oh my goodness. God.
Stop the cap.
People who had worked for me for years for blood money when I couldn't pay. Ninja, you made $500,000 and you didn't pay him? Did you know that Court Newman intended to do with his invested money? Remember, Austin ain't on trial, so they really not going too hard on him. They just pointing out that, he fucking full of shit. All right. Did you know what Court Newman intended to do when he invested the money? Speculation, Your Honor. Sustained. Question, you don't know that. I know he was going to do stuff for his business. Did you see his bank accounts? No. To be clear, who brought you in to meet Michael Hill and eventually led you to the PPP? Court made that introduction. If it weren't for him, do you think you would have gotten a PPP loan? No. And you mentioned on cross-examination how you asked a lot of questions to both Michael and Andrew Moran. Do you remember that? Yes. Are you aware if Court Newman even asked one question? I wasn't present for his conversations. Have you seen the text message that Court Newman with Michael Hill? I may have at some point in the past. Ninja, you saw them shits. I couldn't tell you what they were. Have you seen the text message where Court Newman had with Andrew Moran? No, I don't think so. Did anyone force you to get a PPP loan? No. Did anyone force you to send that information to Andrew Moran? No. I did what I believe was best for my business. Did anyone force you to send that investment money to Michael Hill? No. Pass the witness. Okay. Recrosses? No, Your Honor. The witness excused. Thank you, sir. You may step down. Now, the jury instructions. And I think I remember where the stuff is. The jury instructions. All right. So let's go through it. It'll take like maybe a minute. And you can look at what the jury you have to consider if he committed conspiracy to commit wire fraud, All right. So a conspiracy is an agreement between two or more persons to join together, to accomplish some unlawful purpose. It is kind of a partnership in crime in which each member of the conspiracy becomes an agent of every other member. For you to find the defendant guilty of this crime, you must be convinced that the government proved each of the following beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay? So this is what the jury has to do. First, were there did two or more people agree to commit wire fraud? Okay? Second, that the defendant knew the unlawful purpose of the agreement. Third, that the defendant joined the agreement with the intent to further the unlawful purpose. Okay? So if the answer is yes to all three of these, then you have found that person guilty with conspiracy to wire fraud. And they give you a little bit more information. Now, the government need not prove an overt act of furtherance of a conspiracy. To show the defendant conspired to commit wire fraud, the government need not to prove that the defendant in fact committed the object offense of wire fraud. However, a person commits wire fraud when the defendant knowingly devised or intended to devise any scheme to defraud. The scheme to defraud employed false, emphasis on false, material representation, false material pretense, or false material promises. The defendant transmitted or caused to be transmitted by way of wire, which is online communications, in interstate commerce, in writing, sign, signal, picture, or sound for the purpose of executing such a scheme. Fourth, that the defendant acted with a specific intent to defraud. Now, this last part is the good one. A scheme to defraud means any plan, pattern, or course of action intended to deprive another of money or property or bring about some financial gain to the person engaged in the scheme. Okay? We just gotta make sure you guys know. It's a little bit more, but I think you guys we can read it. We can read it. All right. A representation pretense promises is material if it has a natural tendency to influence or capable of influencing the decision of the person or entity to which it is addressed. Commerce includes travel, transportation. Interstate commerce means commerce or travel between state territory or possession of the United States and other state territory possession, state United States, including the District of Columbia. Transmissions by interstate may constitute transportation of interstate commerce. A specific intent to fraud means conscious, knowing intent to deceive, cheat someone. A representation, pretense, promise, if false, if known to be untrue, is made with a reckless indifference as truth and falsity. One may become a member. Here we go, right here. This applies. One may become a member of a conspiracy without knowing all the details of the unlawful scheme or the identities of all the other alleged conspirators. If a defendant understands the unlawful nature of a plan or scheme and knowingly and intentionally joins in that plan or scheme on one occasion, that is sufficient to convict him for conspiracy, even though the defendant had not participated before, and even only though the defendant played a minor part. All right, and there is a poll where you can vote if you believe he's guilty or not. Maybe I should start a new poll to see this audience. I'll start a new poll. That poll ended, as you see, 82%. I'll start this poll and let you guys, how do you find ASJ? Guilty or not guilty? All right. There you go. Have at it. Now I'll keep going. The government does not need to prove that the alleged conspirators enter any formal agreement or that they directly stated between themselves all of the details for the scheme. Likewise, the government does not need to prove that all of the details of the scheme alleged in the indictment were actually agreed upon or carried out. nor must it prove all of the persons alleged to have been members of the conspiracy were in such that alleged conspirators actually succeeded in accomplishing the unlawful objectives. Mere presence at the scene of an event, even with knowledge that a crime is being committed, or the mere fact that certain persons may have associated with each other and may have assembled together and discussed common aims and interests, does not necessarily establish proof of existence of a conspiracy. Also, a person who has no knowledge of a conspiracy, but who happens to act in a way which advances some purposes of a conspiracy, does not thereby become a co-conspirator. So you have all of the knowledge and information. Now, Court Newman was found guilty already, and now you can decide. Now, let me know what you think of this video. Make sure you like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.